with aren't here today, but I'm here with who?
Renee.
And someone's behind scenes, the producer is over there. So today we're just gonna be.
She doesn't want to say who I am, but I'm gonna tell you who I am. I'm Bruce Rodriguez.
Okay. So today it's gonna be a chill podcast. We're gonna be asking questions. Renee's gonna be asking me some questions, and I'm gonna answer them and just give my opinion on them. So.
What is a mentor, and do you have a mentor in your life?
So my definition of a mentor is someone who's there, like for someone, the mentee, who's giving them good advice and who's just helping them through any situation that they need. And it's also someone that guides your mentee in the right direction regardless of the situation, I feel like. And I wouldn't say I have a mentor, but I have people like in my circle and close to me, like adults that I can go to for situations. Like one of my social workers at school, I can go to her for anything. I could tell her stuff that I know she won't tell other people. Like that's someone that I can see that I look up to. My mom, like I can go to her for certain situations as well. And just like some other adults that I trust, I can go to them for anything. So I wouldn't say I have a mentor, but I have people who I can trust with certain things.
And that you feel like you can basically open up to about any and every situation in your life. Well, that is good because you need those kind of people. And sometimes it's easier to talk to outside individuals rather than people, your parents, or even sometimes people you consider friends. It's easier to talk to someone who you feel like is going to be neutral and not place judgment because or take a side in a situation.
A lot of people don't have those type of people. Like even my friend, he texted me the other day. Like he was telling me, he don't have that type of people around him, and I was like, I'm here for you. Like a lot of people don't have people that they can go to when they're feeling a situation, and they just hold it in and stuff, and that's not good.
Correct. So it isn't. It isn't good to hold things in. So it is important. I mean, it's very helpful if you have a mentor to take advantage of that, because someone who you respect, you look up to, and is leading and guiding you in the right direction also can help you prevent from falling into traps of the world, using drugs or getting into trouble, possibly going to jail, when those avenues of life could have been avoided
if you just listened.
Correct.
And I think that's what my mom used to work. She used to work for the city of Boston, Tobin, around the Tobin, I believe. And she used to work with like the youth, like not delinquents, but kids who would often get in trouble and stuff. And she would like work with them. And a lot of them, I see them out now, and my mom sees them, and they're saying, "Oh, well, your program really helped me and changed my life," because those kids used to really get into trouble, like stealing cars and dirt bikes and always fighting and stuff. Right. So my mom used to work with kids like that, and then try to get them on the right path with her other co-workers and stuff. So it really does help a lot of people.
Yes, and it's beneficial, like you said. Some of those kids are now coming to her and saying how they benefited from the program, and hopefully, they're leading a life that is productive, and they're not, in trouble or doing things that can cause them to get locked up.
Yeah, and they'll regret it for the rest of the time.
Right. And unfortunately today, the way the world is, it's very difficult to get out of negative situations if you don't have someone that you can go to who can guide you and even support you and encourage you to, go in the right direction versus going and doing things that, potentially could be harmful to you, but also harmful to others around you.
Yeah.
So it is helpful. So I'm glad that you have some people in your life that you feel comfortable enough that you can talk to and share things with.
Well, growing up, did you have anyone like that? Did you have a specific person or people?
I don't know. I mean, I think so. Back in my day, it was it was different, and there really wasn't a lot of outside support because it was a generation where it was, what happens in my house stays in my house. You weren't supposed to share what was going on. And which is, as you've already said, and it's not good to feel like you can't open up and share with someone or go to someone. So yeah, it was different. I didn't have anyone that I felt like, that I could totally open up to, but I wasn't the type of kid that got into trouble either.
Yeah.
So I was, I was okay.
With
I
that.
was just focused on, doing what I was told to do by adults.
Yeah.
I stayed away from
All the
trouble.
drama.
Yeah, I tried my very best to stay away from the trouble. I didn't want to be in that atmosphere, so I did everything I possibly could do to avoid getting into situations that would be difficult to get out of.
Yeah.
The next question: should all youth be involved in a supervised youth group?
So I think that it's a yes and no answer for me, because like a youth group could be a group of friends, or like, you know what I mean? And like, I don't, like, for me, I went on my friend group we're out to be supervised 24/7 and like have an adult there. Like, I get that, when you're younger, like in elementary school, early middle school, if you want to go out, your parents are going to be with you. Like, if you want to go on Dave and Buster's with your friends, your parents are going to be with you. But as of right now, no, like, I don't want any adult near me and my friends. It's not like we're doing anything bad, but it's more of like, I'm with my friends, and why do we need an adult if it's a lot of us? And we're like older now, like we don't need someone watching over us. You should just trust that we're making the right decision. But if you're talking about like programs like BCYF, like those little community centers and stuff, then yeah, like it's important for kids to go there because it helps them build bonds and with staff and other kids. And it's also like, example, a place for them to stay out of trouble. Like younger kids nowadays, it's easier to get wrapped in to like all that stuff outside in the world. But when they're at those places, they're not really into it as much. They're going there, they're playing basketball, they're having fun with other kids, they're learning how to do new things. So I feel like it's a yes and no when it comes to like those type of things, when it comes to like boys and girls clubs and YMCAs and like BCYF programs. That's what I think.
But with your friends, you say absolutely
not. Yeah, with my friends, or when I'm out at like certain like basketball events or just events like in Boston, like, I don't want a parent with me. Why do I want a parent with me?
But so when you're at basketball, there's still adults there.
There's still adults there.
Right. So technically, there's still an adult that's overseeing everything, but they're not
but
actually in the actual space where.
Yeah, that's true. Like I know some adults out that I see and give a hug hi, but it's not like they're watching me. Right. And like even the adults there that I don't know, they're not worried about anyone else besides them or their kids that are there. So it's like, yeah, we are around adults, so it should be a little safer. But it's like, I don't think my specific friend group or people it should be supervised. Like I just don't understand that like part. So
yeah. So I don't know. I think it depends on the situation and where you're at, and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes an adult supervision is not needed, but it's helpful to have an adult around, because what if something, you never know when something may happen.
That's right.
Not so much that you and your friends are getting into trouble, but what if you come across, a crisis or a situation? It's helpful to have an adult there who hopefully knows what to do to support you at that time, because you could be someone who is calm, cool, and collective under a chaotic situation if something was to go wrong. But what about the rest of the individuals? They may panic, or a lot of chaos is happening instead of controlling whatever may be going on at that particular time. So for me, I think it just depends on the situation, what you're doing, and even also who your group of friends are.
Yeah.
If they're a group of good kids and you don't get in trouble, and the parents know that. So if we drop you off at the movies, of course, the parent don't necessarily need to be there. But I think definitely you have to be a group of individuals that adults trust to be out and about on their own. Because kids your age, you know what I mean?
We're different.
Right.
We're doing a lot of stuff differently.
Right.
And like I know that because like I'm a kid my age and like I have friends and stuff. But I feel like how to explain it? Oh, kids don't act the same way they act in front of adults with each other.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We definitely don't. I don't either. Like,
right.
Obviously, I'm gonna have more respect when I'm with like my parents and adults. I'm not gonna be cussing around them. I'm not gonna be doing this and that. But with my friends, I'm gonna do.
You do that stuff.
Yeah, every kid does that. Like even kids like young, they all do it. You know, you're not gonna act the way with your parents and like then act the way with your friends. It's gonna be two different people.
Right.
Like you can still be yourself, but you're gonna have more respect when you're with an adult than rather with someone that's your friend. So that's different. That is different. And I feel like you're going to do different things when you're with your friends as well.
Right. But so what do you think about when you have the younger ones who are out of control and disrespectful? So younger than you. Well, just in general, you know what I mean? Even out in public, just their, the behavior, the sassiness, the cursing. And these are kids who potentially are under the age of 12.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about that? Like, do you think that's okay?
Like, I think, like me, since if it's not me and my friends, I don't care. Like, that's just how I am. But I would just tell them, like you can't be cussing in front of adults. Like, I do that with my friends all the time. Like, when I'm out with my friends and I see them cussing and I see, like, a little girl and her mother in front of us, I tell them, like, calm down. Don't cuss. Or even when I slip up, I'm like, oh my God, wait, let me stop. Because there's an adult in front of me and this little girl in front of me. So I'd probably tell the kid, like, just don't calm down. Don't be saying that stuff in front of adults. Like, wait till you're just with your friends, because, like, adults will say something. Like, especially adults who don't really want to hear that type of stuff. They will say something, and then it's going to be a whole thing. Because kids nowadays, they like talking back in general, even to people they don't know.
Right. I
literally seen one of my friends. Well, he's not really one of my friends, but someone I know. And he's like 12. No, he's like 13 or 12. And he was on the bus arguing with this lady about to fight her, and they were cussing at each other and stuff. I'm like, you can't do that. Like, what's wrong with you? And, like, it doesn't make it better how other kids are hyping it up. You know what I mean? Like, I would never do that, but that's just me personally.
Right. And see, and that's the thing. That's you. But I've seen where younger kids are so disrespectful, and I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But it depends on who they're with, because sometimes these kids are with adults and they're carrying on in that manner, in the manner that it's not cute and it's so disrespectful. And it's like, I wonder who that adult they're with. They're cussing and being demanding to the adult, telling the adult what to do, as if the roles were reversed. Like, the kid is the parent and the parents are the kid. And it's like, there's something very wrong with this picture, and this is not how a child should behave, because that type of child, unfortunately, is being taught that this behavior is okay. What happens when they become a teenager? What happens when they become an adult
in the real world? It's going to be different.
Right. And potentially they're going to be in all kind of trouble and, involved in things that they never should be involved in. But if they don't have the proper guiding and someone teaching them how to behave and what's right and what's wrong, you're basically just leaving them, to do things on their own, and just telling them that their behavior and the things they're saying and doing is okay.
And I feel like that's like the generation now. Like, a lot of parents are more lenient with their kids, and like they don't really discipline them as much. And that's why kids, like a lot of kids that I know who like were good, they're starting to go down like a dark path. Like, literally the other day, one of the people that I know, like, he used to come to my house, play basketball. All of us used to all go out and play basketball. I haven't talked to him in a while. Next thing you know, I'm on the FaceTime call with him 2 days ago, and he's like a totally different person. Like, he's more into like that type of seeing the gangs and
the
stuff. I'm like, I'm like, what the heck? I literally just ask people, like, since when is this person like this? I literally used to ask my friends, I was like, since when is he a part of all this and saying all this stuff? And they said, he's been doing that. And I'm like, okay. So a lot of people change and like do certain things. This generation, it's easier to get wrapped into situations.
Right. And again, it depends on who you're surrounding yourself with. And if you're around those type of individuals who like to get in trouble or like doing things they know they shouldn't be doing, even though you may not be like that right now, you potentially can get caught up and start doing what others are doing, because that's the environment
Yeah.
that you are constantly in
And
and
I-
around.
And I've noticed that like a lot of people in this generation are followers. So if they see something someone else is doing, they're gonna want to do it, and it's more of like they probably just think it's funny or like
Right.
it's something fun to do, but sometimes it's not.
Right.
Like
right.
you know,
And that goes back to, again, with the younger children under the age of 12, when you laugh at things that they do that is wrong. So they continue the behavior because it's like,
they
oh,
think,
you're
I'm
laugh-"
funny, yeah.
Right. They think it's cute. They think it's funny because when they do what they're doing and you're laughing, you're encouraging that negative behavior.
Yeah.
Right. You're not being a good role model or an example for that, for that child or children. You're teaching them in the wrong way.
Yeah, and sometimes adults just sit back and watch too. Like not all, but a lot of them just sit back and watch. Even though, like sometimes they be thinking it's funny as well too. Like I've seen that when adults are sitting there laughing and like
Right.
cheering them on.
Right. And yeah, that is true. When they do things and the adults are over there laughing, hee hee ha ha, and it's like, okay, that is not funny. Me, on the other hand, if that was my child, it's a no-go. I just think it's so disrespectful when children misbehave and or are rude, especially to adults. And I don't like sassy children. It just, there's nothing cute about that. Or rude children. What is positive about that? There's absolutely nothing positive about that. It's totally disgusting. But again, I truly do believe it goes back to the parents, especially that young age. Because
where are they getting it from?
Right. Who's teaching them?
Literally. I
Who's
agree.
teaching them? You know.
So have you ever been in a situation where like you've had a group of kids cussing around you and you just had to tell them like stop?
Yeah, I have. And again, like you said, and there was one or two individuals that were telling the other kids to stop doing that, but they didn't appreciate that I said something and they were being rude. And the two young ladies were like, you need to stop because you're being very rude and disrespectful.
Right. You can't say
shouldn't
that to
be
adults.
talking back to her. You're the one that's cursing and carrying on around her, and she's just asking you not to do it. But yeah, they didn't care that I said something. Some of them stopped, and others were just continued in their negative behavior. And you know, who am I? By myself. Yeah, I want the behavior to be corrected, but I can't force
Anyone to do anything.
them to behave. But I've been in situations where I've seen the bus driver actually has stopped his bus and said, no, he didn't kick them off, but he said something to them. He said something to them and told them if they didn't stop behaving in the way they were, he was going to ask them to get off the bus. You know, and of course that quieted them down, but they didn't like it. But you know, it was appreciated that the bus driver actually said something to them because they were being rude and obnoxious on the bus for no reason.
Yeah.
So it happens.
All right, well, we're going to go on a quick music break and come back with our final two questions. So, yeah.
Extra, Rarely is it positive. Good news about us don't sell. That's why a story we must tell. Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it. Yeah. Tune in to see how extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, tune in to see how extra, read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, tune in to see extra, read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, tune in to see
From our perspective, we must give the narrative. It is imperative that the truth about us, we give. No more trying to get ratings with the hating. No more fake news. Now we can choose Boston Black News.
read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it. Yeah. Tune in to see how extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, tune in to see how extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, tune in to see how read all about it. Extra, extra, read all about it. Extra, tune in to see that news.
Hi, my name is Layla, and I listen to Boston Praise Radio and TV, 102.9 FM, and Boston Black News. All right, and we're back for more pretty good song break. So I'm gonna wait. All right, so the next question.
What do you do to prepare to go back to school?
Okay, so I feel like middle school, like throughout the years, is different. So what I did for 9th grade, like I don't really know. Like I was actually excited a little bit because it's like I'm in a bigger school with more people, with more black kids. So I was more excited. I feel like mentally, I knew like, okay, I have to do the work. I have to stay on top. I can't, like, I have to actually get good grades. And that was because in middle school, like, I really did not care, if you want to be honest, because it didn't really matter. So I used to not do any of my work. Like, the only work you see me doing was classwork, and that's because everyone's doing it together. But I didn't do any homework. Like, a lot of assignments that I had to do weren't finished and stuff. Like, I used to fool around so much in middle school. I didn't take it serious at all. Like, it was just, like, that was low-key, like, that school, like, I owned it, really. Like, I just felt like I just went crazy in middle school. But in high school, I just knew, like, okay, it's different. Like, this matters. Your GPA matters. Like, this is time to start thinking about college and stuff, and I actually need to lock in. So that's what I did. Like, I started staying on my work. And also, I had, like, teachers and stuff to help me with my work if I was falling behind. I had study blocks and just all that type of things that kept me along. So I feel like what helped me prepare mostly was, like, knowing that I'm going to be around a lot of people like me and a lot of my friends to feel more comfortable. And I knew that I was going to have, like, just a support system, I feel like, because I'm in MECO. So they want a lot of teachers to help us with certain stuff. Because the MECO kids are the ones who are normally in the hallways and not in class. this and that. So, yeah, I just really had to lock in. I just knew. Even we had a summer program. Like, we had a 9th grade intro summer program that was like 2 weeks. And they just told us a little about school and, like, some of the stuff we were learning. So that's just really motivated me to lock in school. And then this year, I feel like I'm going to do the same thing. But I just feel like sophomore year is like really a hard year. Like they say junior year is the hardest, but sophomore year is like a lot because you have to take not only finals, but you have to take MCATs as well. So you're doing all this, and then you still have a lot of assignments, and then it's just a lot. Like, I've seen sophomores just, like, completely just want to die because of the work. Like,
So you didn't take MCAS in the ninth grade?
so, no. So, for us, they didn't want to, like, a lot of schools do. Like, they take 1 MCAS in ninth grade and 2 in sophomore year. But for us, they wanted us to, like, we're freshmen. They want us to get into this, like, school, get still, you know. So they didn't want us to take MCAS. So what they decided to do was sophomore year, you have to take all your MCASs and you have to pass them to graduate.
And how do you feel about that? Like, I don't think that MCAS should be the decision on whether you pass or fail.
Yeah.
Because what about all the time that you've spent in school?
Yeah.
And if you've done well, say you've done well, but you do poorly on your MCAS, so you fail because you did poorly on your MCAS. So basically, it's like saying all that work you did didn't matter.
I feel like, I don't know, like, a lot of people say it's easy. I mean, I haven't taken it yet. I don't know. Like, I've passed a lot of my MCAS in middle school, but high school's different. It's different learning. It's stuff you've learned from a lot of the years you've been in school. So I don't know how to feel about it. I just hope I pass. But a lot of kids have, like, passed. So I don't know. I hope I do. I think I will. And it's like, we have science MCAS, math MCAS. Science MCAS, math finals, and English MCAS, and I think it's another MCAS, history or math. It's one of those. I think it's math. So it's like a lot of stuff that we have to do. I don't know. Sophomore year, I'm trying to prepare. Like, a lot of my friends slacked in freshman year. They didn't do anything, but I wasn't one of them. I did all my work. And they all said, I'm going to lock in sophomore year. I had to do everything. But me, I had to stay in my mindset because I know, like, once I get bored of something or I really don't want to do it, like, it's hard for me to actually stay on top of it. So I just got to keep that mindset. Like, okay, I want my GPA to stay high. I have a 3.5 right now, so I'd want it to stay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to try to hopefully just get the work done.
Well, the teachers, they prepare you for the MCAS.
Yeah, they do. But I've heard that MCAS, it's not really about the kids. It's more of like, it more depends on the teachers because it's what the teachers are teaching you. Like, you're only getting the knowledge of how your teacher's teaching you and, like, what you're intaking from what they're teaching you, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of teachers in high school don't really teach you. They just give you the work and expect you to know. And that's not how you can't expect to give someone something that they never learned before and expect them to get it.
Right.
I've seen that a lot, and it's like, I don't work well with that teaching style because if I don't know something that someone that I'm asking doesn't know, then what? You have to teach us. You can't just give it to us.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm just going to try to be prepared for MCAS.
Right.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So if you don't understand what you're being taught, do you approach the teacher and say, I don't get this, or do you?
Yeah, I do if I really don't get it, but a lot of teachers have like a hard time explaining it as well.
No, is that because they don't know how to explain to their students, or
I
they
think
or they
that's
really
what it
don't
is.
know the?
I think that's what I don't. It could be both because my science teacher last year, I did not like her in ninth grade. Like, I just didn't like the way she did the same thing I just said. She would give us something and we didn't know, and then the way she explained it wasn't right. And she had told us at the beginning of the school year she hasn't taught in 10 years. So why'd they bring you back if you haven't taught in 10 years? You literally don't know how to, like, I'm not saying you don't know how to teach, but if you don't know how to teach now, then what's the point of you coming back if you don't know how to teach certain kids now and how their learning styles are? A lot of kids did not like her in class and didn't understand what she was teaching us. Like, we would ask her, and then she would tell us, but she wouldn't tell us the right way. She would go completely off subject and, like, not even tell us. So we're like, whatever.
So my last question: how are you doing? Do you like math?
No, math is like last year it was me, my sister was in my math class, and my sister was in a lot of my classes actually. It was me, my sister, and my friend Donovan, and we were in math class and we would sit at the same table. The whole time we'd be looking like, what is going on? And the teacher one time, it was really funny. She came over to our table and we were asking her a question, and you know, like those teachers who like ask you and they want you to answer it, so they're waiting there, like, for example, like, what'd you eat today? And you're just waiting. So we were all just shooting out random answers, and then we just started laughing because, like, we didn't know what it was. So it was just like one of those. Math, I liked the class, like it was chill, but I just didn't understand half the stuff.
So what are you studying? What did you study in math last year?
We did like a lot of trigonometry and geometry and like and like I feel like the stuff they teach us, like what is school really for? The stuff they teach us we're not really using in real life. Like when am I ever using trigonometry in my real life ever again? I want to know because it's like I don't know. I understood some of the stuff we learned, like some of the different units, but a lot of it I did not know. And like another thing is when you miss one day of school or like just one class, you fall so behind. It's like
just one day?
Yes, like one day I missed one day of math and I'm like the next day I came like what are we learning? This is something totally different. Like you fall back when you just miss one day. Even in like English and stuff, you're behind on work and it's a lot.
So what is a student, my last question. So what is this, I said that 3 times. So what does a student do who's in class, they catch COVID and they're out for 3 or 4 days?
I feel bad for them. I don't know. They can ask the teacher they can go to iBlocks. That's like a win, like when I need. So you can go to iBlocks to work with the teacher. You can ask another student. But a lot of the time it's just, you're clueless. I don't know. I was clueless a little bit when I missed a day or two. I was like, what are we learning?
That would totally overwhelm me. Those are my questions.
How do you feel about uniforms for school?
Well, my school, we don't wear uniforms. Not really. We don't wear uniforms. We have the option to wear whatever you want. I feel like if we were wearing uniforms, I feel like it'd be easier. Like you could wake up, you already know what you're wearing. You're wearing the same thing every day, probably a different shirt, different pants, but you have all sets of the same thing. So it's like I could wake up. It saves time. It would be easier, but it's like I wouldn't want to wear the same uniform every day as everyone in school. Like that's like so bad. It's like it's gonna be hard to recognize people with their back turned as well. Like how do you know that's them if they had the same hairstyle, this and that? Like it wouldn't sit right with me. That's why I like wearing whatever I want as well, because it's like you have a different rotation of clothes. You can wear whatever you want. You can show your new clothes, your new shoes, whatever. So that's more fun. And I feel like the way you dress is like, it kind of represents who you are, like your identity as well, like is what you like to wear. So like if I had to wear uniforms, people would not really want, it'd be harder for people to express how they feel. Like people dress how they feel, and it's basically a little bit of their piece of their identity. So that would also be another thing. But I feel like uniforms, it's like at least you wouldn't have to wear the same thing twice, like in a year, if you know what I mean, like in a school year. Like you can wear all your clothes in the summer, like your new clothes and everything in the summer, and like on vacations and like stuff when you're out of school, like breaks. So that would be a good thing about uniforms as well. Like,
well, ask me if I'm right or wrong. So when I had 3 children, I have 3 children, and they were in junior high and high school. I used to try to find a way to buy their clothing, but not spend $500 for a pair of sneakers, $100 for a pair of pants. So I would, don't laugh when I say this. You both have to promise not to laugh.
I won't laugh.
Okay, Renee?
Oh no, maybe.
Okay. So I took them to Walmart, and they said that when they wore the Walmart sneakers back at school, the kids just laughed them into, my kids wanted to fight. And did I make a mistake in going to Walmart to buy their shoes and to buy their clothes?
Yes. And no. Like if my mom ever came back with some Walmart clothes, I'm telling her to return it immediately. Like that's just me. I'm gonna ask her, can you just return it? She's done something like that before. I'm like, Mom, what are you buying me? You clearly don't know what I like. Just don't. When I tell her when she goes shopping, bring me. Like, please bring me, please. And
you explain what you need or what you want.
Yeah, and then she just comes up with something totally different. Like, what are you bringing me? Like, I don't know. You shouldn't have done that. But you were trying to save money. Like, you should have.
Right.
Like,
I was trying to say, and I brought them with me.
Yeah, but like, it's just like, yeah, okay. If you brought them with you and they picked that out, I mean, yeah.
Well,
they kind of.
I think they
didn't have a choice.
Yeah,
because you're in Walmart. So how much of a choice do you get?
Have?
Right.
So they really got the kids laughed at them, and they didn't tell me until later. So my oldest son has a room full of sneakers. He has boxes and boxes, and I said, "Why do you have all these sneakers?" He says, "It's your fault. You bought me sneakers from Walmart. People laughed at me. They will never laugh at me again." And he has a fetish with sneakers.
Me too. I think I just spent. I'm pretty sure I just spent like $500 on 2 pairs of sneakers, and and I'm about to buy another pair for like $300 something. That's where my check goes.
You ought to be thankful that you have a parent who can really watch this afford you. That's a lot.
Well, I'm both my parents, so like I get sent money every week.
So who spoils you the most?
My mom. Like my mom, obviously she buys more, but my dad, like, cause he sends us money every week. So it's like it depends. Like my dad right now, he's sending me like $200 to buy my clothes online.
I'm glad all of my children are grown and have
their
jobs, and they take care of their own.
Hey, I have a job.
Right.
I'm doing it right now, so
Yeah.
I can put in. Like I bought my school backpack,
How much?
$80.
Where did you get that from?
Dick's. I got an Elite bag. I was gonna get a spray ground bag, but I got an Elite bag, so I got it from Dick's Sporting Good.
Aren't they expensive,
I got an Elite bag,
Renee?
a pink one,
A what bag?
an Elite bag.
Oh, yeah.
You know what that bag is?
Yeah, it's just the type of bag that you get for school, and it's expensive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there's people are spending a lot of money just to get ready to go
Yeah,
back to school.
that's like so crazy to me. Like I went to the mall actually with my friends and we went shopping and I just was so drained after that. It's like, why did I spend that much money? Like the prices are crazy now. Like the way
the prices
food
are-
and
yeah.
the fast food, clothes,
Yeah.
everything, the prices are so like ridiculous now.
Do you
like-
go to the Braintree Mall?
Yeah, I go to Braintree, I go to Nader. I go to a lot of the malls. But it's like, I heard that like for McDonald's back then, it was only like 89 cents for a burger. Now it's like $5. Like, why is everything so expensive now? It's so bad.
Right. You can go to McDonald's and you can go to Wendy's, and it's $15 for a meal. $15.
And imagine now gas too. Gas is crazy.
Yeah, gas is also crazy. So, getting ready for school costs a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time.
Yeah, I have to buy school clothes. Then I have to pay to get my hair done. Like, it's so much stuff. Getting ready for school is just a lot for like kids nowadays. Like I feel like back then a lot of people didn't really care. They got their school outfit, they got a little haircut, got their hair done, whatever. But now it's like everyone has to get their nails done, lashes done. Boys have to get haircuts. Like there's so much stuff that everyone has to do. They have to buy stuff.
I thought you did that. Okay. I thought you got the nails done, the hair done, the eyebrows, all that when you go out socially on the weekend,
No, you
but
gotta
not
get
for
done
school.
for school too.
Yeah, they do. This day and age, they need their hair done, they need their nails done, their toes done.
If you got all that done, let's say you got all that done for school, why wouldn't that last for the weekend? So the weekend you don't have to go back out and get yourself.
No, it will last. It will last for like a good month, and then you take it out and get it redone.
You said it would last for how long?
Like a month.
Her hair, yeah.
Your hair can last like a month or two. Your nails can last like a month, like a couple weeks.
Wow.
Your lashes can last like a couple weeks, and then when it's done, you get it redone.
Well,
On like the weekend.
I don't know how you do this because my son told me that it cost him. We were talking about it yesterday. $60 for a haircut, and he has to make an appointment.
Yeah,
$60 for a haircut.
that's a lot, but hey,
It is a lot. That's expensive for a haircut for a guy.
And how often does a guy have to go back to the barber shop? Every maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, it depends.
I know
on the
someone
cut.
who goes to the barbershop like every 3 days, 4 days. I know someone who gets a haircut every 3. Like he gets his lineup touched up every 4
Oh,
days.
we were talking about that yesterday too, about the lineup. So you get your hair all done, then and they do a little design in the head, right?
Not all the
How long does that design last?
It depends. People's hair grow differently.
Well, if it was me, it would last maybe 3 or 4 days, and then now I only paid. Don't laugh when I say this. I only pay $20 to have my hair cut. And you know what she just said with her eyes? I can tell.
No.
and I give a tip of $5, so I spend $25. 60 people are spending 60 and 70, and they have
They
to
want a
make an
nice haircut. They want a nice haircut. People are really exclusive.
But don't you need to save a little money here and save a little money there?
Yeah, but it's hard to save money nowadays. Like right now, I feel like I'd be a millionaire if I really didn't have. If I didn't have DoorDash or Uber, I'd be a millionaire right now. I wasted so much money on DoorDash and Uber. I've probably wasted thousands of dollars on both of those things.
So are you still using them like you used to? So okay, so how much would a meal cost, and how much does the Uber cost?
It's more expensive on DoorDash to get food because it's just more expensive. It depends on the Uber. It depends where I'm going. Like I've had to take an Uber to Lynn before. I've taken the Ubers to Newton. I've taken Ubers to South Boston. I've taken Ubers a lot of places. So it just depends where the Uber is and how much it is.
So as far as the food is concerned, does the cost for the service to have the food delivered cost more than the food?
It costs more to get delivered. It costs more to even order online. Like if you want to order online and pick it up in store, it's gonna still be more than what it is in the store because like you're ordering online.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is crazy. So why are we a society that orders our food and has it delivered versus getting into your car and going and picking it up?
Because I don't have a car, so I need it delivered to me. And then two, it's like no one wants to really leave their house for food. Like if it can come to you, it's gonna be the easiest option.
That's the newest thing. That's since COVID, right? Hasn't it been since COVID?
Like a year after.
A year after?
Like 2021.
That's right, because they couldn't deliver food to
I
your house.
couldn't do
2021,
anything.
2020, 2022, I believe, around there.
Yeah.
2021, 2022.
Oh my gosh. My wife would say to me, I'd be sitting in the dining room and she'll say, Bruce, are you hungry? I'm not. She is. No. Are you sure you're not hungry?
She wants some DoorDash.
She wants some food, and she orders it, and I will say to her, I will pick it up. But even if you order it, they'll put a charge on it, even if you pick it up.
Yeah,
Isn't
like,
that
even
ripping
those
you
places
off?
like Demetrios and stuff.
But doesn't it rip you off?
I mean, I guess, but
you still.
I'm getting my food.
Look at her. She's too much.
I'm getting my food. So if I'm getting my food, I can't be upset. I'm not going to be hungry anymore.
What about making and cooking your food?
That's that's so much work, number one. And like, what if you have no food in your house at the moment? Then you guess what? That's like, guess what? You have to order out. Like, I just don't feel like, me personally, like if I'm really like lazy that day and I'm hungry, I don't feel like getting up. Then the easiest thing I might do is make a bowl of cereal. Oh, right, that's the easiest thing I'll do.
Right.
But if I'm tired of cereal, I'm gonna order my food. It's just I don't feel like getting up and making an actual meal at that moment. I can do it sometimes, but I don't feel like making pasta right now or making a quick burger or something like that. I don't feel like it, so I'm gonna order.
So have you ever ordered out twice in one day?
Yeah, I've ordered Dunkin' Donuts and then Wendy's.
Renee, what are we gonna do with her?
Everyone does it now.
That is true. But I will, when my wife is sitting at home, and I know she has that look in her eye, honey, what do you want? I will go and pick it up. And I say to her, don't call it in, send me a text, and I'll pick it up. So I think I'm saving some money.
You're saving some money.
Yeah.
There you go.
You have a car. I don't have a car.
So that justifies why she orders out.
Yeah, you can just get up and go pick it up.
Well, you can get a scooter like.
Absolutely not.
You
I'm not riding a scooter to go pick up food when it can come to me.
Can you look at her? Oh my gosh!
It can come right to me.
And twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you are working. What are you going to be doing for work when you go to school? Do you work when you go to school?
Honestly, I'm trying to work after school, but it's like I'm gonna get home late.
How do you do that if you're playing sports?
Well, it just depends on the season. Like some seasons, I'm not playing sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll play this winter is basketball's in winter. So other than that, and I might do track, and that's in like spring. like late after basketball.
Right. So which means your time will be
We
limited
literally
because you're
started
practicing.
the year
Correct.
and stuff. Yeah.
Jemai was saying that he does basketball, but he also does drama.
Mm-hmm.
And he loves drama. He was sitting here describing plays that he's been in. But he also was talking, because I can talk about it because he talked about it yesterday, that just because you play on a basketball team doesn't mean that the
can't do
whole
everything,
team is, no, that the whole team is cohesive, that they have a
Yeah.
friendship.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that.
I thought that when you were on a team,
No.
that
You-
everybody worked together.
You can be on a team with someone and not even talk to them at practice or anything. You're just playing the game with them. You could be in a team with them and talk to them only when you're at practice and stuff, and not talk to them outside of basketball. Doesn't mean you're a team and you guys just stick together the whole time.
So what about the teams that you've been on? Have you had?
Well, for my
relationship?
AAU team, I'm still friends with some of them. Like, I'm friends with them. I've been friends for them for a while. But there's some girls on my team that I just don't talk to. Like, it's not like I don't like you. It's just like we haven't ever had a conversation to talk. So.
Well, Jemai was also saying that the opposite team, the opposing team, will, when it goes to an all-white school, that he was talking about most of the games are with all-white schools, that the basketball players will come up to him and they'll use the N-word. They'll try to throw him off his game.
The
Try to
white
get
ones?
You're right. Try to
I've
make
never
him
seen
mad so that he will lose his composure. But he knows what they're doing, so he doesn't let them get to him. I said, I can't
I've never
believe-
seen anyone call.
That's never happened to you?
That's never happened to me or anyone I know.
So when you're playing basketball with another team, they respect you?
Yeah. Like,
Oh.
we're talking trash about the game. We're not talking. No one's ever. I'm not gonna lie. If someone did that to me, I wouldn't even hold my composure fighting you right there. I can't. Why are you saying that to me for? Like, I'm just playing basketball. Like, what? I'm just playing basketball. Why are you calling me that?
Oh, so can you tell me the next time it happens to you so I can bring my phone?
There's no next time. That's never happened to me. It never will.
Because
Because they just know. They know.
They know better, right?
They know.
Not to.
Like, I've never heard that. Jeremiah's the first person that told me that someone's called them that word about playing basketball.
No, that he said that they do some devilish things to throw you off.
Yeah,
your
they do.
game.
Like, even especially the student section. Like, a couple of games I've been in, it was my school versus CM, which is Catholic Memorial.
Mhm.
It's an all boys school, and like everyone came. Like, our whole school packed CM, and it was their side and our side, and we were just saying crazy. Like, the student sections, we didn't have chants, and we were saying crazy stuff to them. Like, everyone was, and then we were talking crap to the players and stuff. And the ref was about to call a flagrant on our student section because we were going back and forth with the players and like the student section. It was funny.
Well, what kind of a foul could the refs call?
He can call it on like the crowd, but towards the team. I forgot what it's called, like a flagrant. Like, he can mess up our student section. If we say something really crazy, we can mess up the game for our team because
you could lose points.
like people were cussing and chanting. It was crazy. And then another thing, I was just sitting there watching. I was like, hey, this is entertainment. And then also, they had our schools go off from different exits because they thought it was gonna be a fight. Like, that's how bad it was. They had the CM players go off the doors, and we had to go out through the back doors and stuff. It was crazy. And then another time was like, I guess we played Arlington. This is my brother was in high school. We were playing Arlington, and it was like this boy in the basketball team who like used to hit his girlfriend and stuff. I guess it was a white.
Go ahead.
It was a white guy who used to hit his girlfriend. They were in high school. They were dating. So our whole student section pulled up in white beaters. You know those white beater T-shirts, and we were screaming "white beater." You get it? Because like he's white and he's a beater. So like our student sections do crazy stuff, and it's actually entertaining. But it's just like, how do you even think about that? Like, how do you even think to do that? I've never seen that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy.
That's not a good thing though.
That's not a good thing. I mean? But I've seen stuff like that, but I never experienced someone calling me the N-word or like anything racist to me.
Yeah,
on the court.
that's a blessing, but I know you say it'll never happen, but you can't say never. Unfortunately,
You can't.
there may be a time where you run across that type of situation where someone is being rude and nasty, really for no reason, but
just because they want to get you upset.
Right. They
and
want
get
to
you out
try
of
to
character. They probably be thinking like, oh, I know I could do this to him, this and that, this and that, and then they want to do it.
Right.
So, like I said, Jemai's better than me.
Right. I feel like the boys try it more than
Girls.
the girls, because I've heard that from many different athletes who play basketball. I've heard that they have had that situation where they were called outside of their name because of their race.
Oh.
So I don't know what that's about, but that it has happened on a numerous occasions to them. So, yeah.
I think that's it. We hit our mark today.
Yes.
Well, let's see. Thank you guys for watching Academy of Broadcasting. Unfortunately, I think today is our last broadcast of the summer. It was a pretty good run while we had it these past 6 weeks. I enjoyed it very much, and I'm glad you guys watched me, like, from the first broadcast to now. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and Academy broadcast is over. Bye.